the comparison of, oh, Mahomes is already up there with Brady in GOAT territory, it took a shotgun blast right to the back, in my opinion. Tom Brady never, ever, ever got his ass whooped like that in a Super Bowl. He lost 3 Super Bowls. Yes, he did. You know what the combined total was that he lost those 3 Super Bowls by? 2 to the Giants, 1 to the Eagles. 15 points total across the 3 losses. Never mind the 7 wins. Patrick Mahomes lost 2 Super Bowls in embarrassing fashion now to Brady's Bucks and now to these Eagles by 40 points. Like, I'm sorry, man. I don't know where you stand on this, but I don't even think that guy is close to my boy TB12.
It's hard to get close to TB12. I won't say that the GOAT debate is dead because Patrick Mahomes has a lot of years ahead of him. He's still an elite quarterback, the best quarterback in the league. So let's say the GOAT debate is on simmer right now. It's just simmering. He's going to get back to the Super Bowl at some point, you would think. Maybe it won't be with the Chiefs. Who knows? But you have to imagine that he's that good. He's going to get back to the Super Bowl maybe a couple of times. And he'll have a couple of chances to win a few more rings. But yeah, I mean, listen, what Tom Brady did throughout his career, it's almost impossible to replicate. And, you know, one of the things that I thought about in that game, when the Chiefs go in, they were down by 20 plus points. I mean, you're thinking Mahomes, okay, you know, maybe he comes out and does something special. But watching that game, I don't know if you felt the same way, but I never really had that feeling that the Chiefs were ever going to come back or ever be in that game. Now, if you put Tom Brady in that position at any age throughout his prime or his peak, even when he was with Tampa Bay when he won it, he's going into that locker room. The expectation as a fan for Tom Brady is that he's going to come out, he's going to do something special and get his team back into the game. That is the absolute expectation. And I think that's the difference between Mahomes and Tom Brady, is that Tom Brady has the expectation to come back and win that game because he's done that before. Mahomes, he's not quite there yet. And that's a huge, huge gap that needs to be bridged by Patrick Mahomes.
It's going to be hard to do it. Like, I don't already debate that I would comfortably put Mahomes in the top 10. I would even hear arguments for top 5. Top 3 would be difficult for me because I still think that Joe Montana is firmly in number 2. And I still firmly believe, as much as I don't like the guy, that Peyton Manning would probably be 3 for me. Right. I would even have probably Drew Brees at 4, maybe interchange him and Peyton. And I'd put Mahomes at 5. I don't have a terrible problem with that. But when you're talking about the best to ever do it, like I felt the same way you just did. I didn't feel this oncoming onslaught of adjustments and new looks and changes to what they were doing on offense. But I did say to everybody that I was at the Super Bowl party with, I said, if my guy Tom Brady was playing quarterback for this team, we would be in for a hell of a spectacle in this second half. The reason why is because, listen, and Tom Brady has talked about this a lot since he became a broadcaster, and he was on Colin Cowherd's podcast before the Super Bowl and talked about what made him special. And he's always said, I'm not the best athlete. I never have been. I'm not a super athletic guy. I just took care of my body. But my superpower was I studied harder than anybody, and I knew everybody's defense intimately. I knew exactly what they were going to do before they did it. I knew what every look meant. I knew what the linebackers were doing. I knew what it meant. I knew when blitzes were coming, and even when I didn't, I knew when to check down and find somebody, because everyone on my team, he held everyone to such a high standard that he expected everyone to know exactly where to be. So Tom had 3 or 4 reads constantly. He knew where people were going to be. He didn't even have to look. He just knew someone was open over there.
Right.
And I don't get the impression that, and this isn't just a Mahomes thing, I think it's many of the quarterbacks in the NFL nowadays. I don't think people study film the way that guy did and the way that Peyton did and the way that Aaron Rodgers used to. They took it so seriously, and I don't think that guys know the other team's defense as intimately as those guys did. They know their offense as well, but they don't know the defensive reads up and down. And I just feel like if Tom Brady went into that game, came down from the booth and took over, I don't know that he'd come back and win it. I mean, he did it once. Doing it twice would be a tall task.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the game would have been a one-score game at the end of it, though. I firmly believe that.
Yeah, maybe.
So
I mean,
that's the difference.
yeah, it is the difference. But the thing is, like, when you're talking about Tom, and I think maybe this kind of squashes the GOAT debate, is that you're talking about one of one. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if, Patrick Mahomes or, Josh Allen, watch as much tape as Tom Brady did. I think it's just maybe Brady processed that information a bit differently because he didn't have the same athletic abilities as a Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. So his work came in a different way, and he had to put all his eggs in that basket. Whereas, Patrick Mahomes, he can rely on different things. Like, he has magic in different ways, and that's okay.